Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's a trade of the day, Monday afternoon / evening, Tuesday morning Zoom call, and pretty good day in the markets, mostly green. And Bitcoin and Ethereum are up a little bit. Some of our altcoins have really pumped. Some have really crashed. We'll talk about those shortly. Let's go to the charts, get started there. Okay, should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And this setup should look familiar to those who've been with me for a while. I've got my Fibonacci retracement up on the day chart to show where potential good entries would be on pullbacks. And we got almost a pullback here to the 236 on the Fib. And I went over this in some detail on Friday. And the Fibonacci's are also what the Crypt Nation guys sometimes rely on. So when you hear references to 236, 382, 0.5, 618, 786, that's what they're talking about, these pullbacks. And I also released a video last week or the week before about Fibonacci's in general, so you might want to check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's just potentially where to get in when something's pulling back, and in this situation, a bull market. So, so we were pumping here. It pulled back to the 382, then the 0.5, then took off again. Actually pulled back to the 382 again. Pulled back to the 236 almost. So if we break up above the, say, 74, 75,000 area, all-time high, wouldn't be surprised if we dip back down to the 236 before taking off. But, the talking heads I've been seeing, Sheldon the Sniper, Kyle Chassis, some of those guys that I've talked about before are predicting big things. I don't know if they're doing that just to pump up their exposure on social media or if they're sincere, but have we had the pullback, down to, let's see, down into the low 60s? Is that sufficient to have us just really take off? I'm not sure, but yeah, a lot of talking heads think so. On Ethereum, I drew this little structure. We've got higher lows and a couple lower highs, which means, we have a decision point coming up later in the week as to the market choosing a direction. Most people think it's pumping. It may dip first. Don't really know. But yeah, markets are, well, ETH just dipped a little bit. Now we're down 0.5%. And Bitcoin up about 1.5%, 1.66%. So not incredibly exciting, but overall, good to see the market trending upwards for most of the coins. Any questions or comments about the markets overall before we go to Altcoin Alert? Okay. Let's head over to Altcoin Alert. I've got the easy mode off. I'm on the altcoin radar. This is the setup I've been using for, well, quite frankly, many years. And I'm going to sort by the AA score. And this morning I had Phantom and Theta. These are the two I was following off this sort, but we have new additional information now. Sushi is now very bullish, 81.4. That's a good score. And this is a coin I trade from time to time. Curve as well, just under 80. But let's check out the sushi chart. Actually, I have it up. And we'll look at this first on my day trading setup. Then we'll look at it as a swing trade. I've got my RTI, got my support and resistance, and cumulative delta for confirmation. And this one's interesting because it just dipped below the 20 on the RTI. As you know, you see from past setups, when it does that and breaks back up, often there's a pretty nice move to the upside. Like we had this on Sunday night. It broke below the 20, came back up, and then moved up, a couple percent. And that's, for me, that's a good day trade. I'm looking for 1 to 2% at 10x leverage. If you're fairly new to this approach on trading, stick with spot until you feel comfortable with it. Even with spot trading on Coinbase, if you get a couple successful trades a day, you can build that balance up pretty quickly. All right, so we don't have that set up at the moment. We just have a dip below the 20. I'll give you a closer look at it. You can see it's broken down here. But what I want to see is for it to break back up again, preferably with a nice, 45-degree angle or straight up. And then I'll go over to my Bitcoin 15-minute chart and see what it's doing if that happens. At the moment, Bitcoin's dipping on the 15-minute. Yeah, it just broke below 69K. As you can see, we were above 70. I meant to mention that when we were going over the markets overall, but we did break 70K briefly early this morning, but didn't hold. I think that's going to be resistance for a while. We'll see. But what I want to see on a long position is Bitcoin trending up and RTI breaking above the 20 at the same time, a dip and a retrace. So to set an alert on the RTI, right click, crossing up on the 20. You can do this once or leave it on all day until you turn it off. I usually do the latter. And alert name, AA score, and notifications. Notify on my app on my phone, pop up on my computer. The sound also on my computer. Handbell I usually use for swing trades. I'm going to use 3 notes reverb for this. Click create, and we'll see if that goes off. So I'm going to go ahead and just set that alert now. If it goes off during our Zoom call, probably take that trade if I see what I like. Okay, any questions on sushi as a day trade? Okay. I was looking at Notcoin earlier because somebody asked about it in the Slack group. Remind me if I don't remember to talk about this a little later. But now I want to finish my analysis of sushi. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. This is my swing trading layout, support and resistance. And then I use supertrend for entries, for alerts, because it's very alert friendly. And I'm going to match that up with this Trendio LSMA, which is a moving average indicator. At the moment, it's trending down, probably due to Bitcoin's dip. We're in the green zone now. So if this turns around and gives me a buy on the super trend, that could be a good entry. That alerts like this. Right click on the super trend, click buy. I usually just use only once for swing trades. Again, that's an AA score. And I'm going to choose handbell. And so that's my sushi alert. And then my goal would be to get out in the red zone. It's only 5%. That's not that great for a swing trade. So in that situation, I'll go to a longer time frame. On the 1-hour chart, this looks better. I usually want 10%, a 10% move on swing trades. And it might, if I'm going for a 10% move on sushi, I'm probably going to be in this trade for close to a week. I need to be prepared for that. So that's how I would handle that one. Any questions on sushi as a swing trade? All right, let's see what else we have on Altcoin Alert. That was an AA score sort. Reload. And let's do a social activity sort. And this is one I wanted to point out. XEM is down 30%. Waves is down 30%. OMG is down nearly 30%. All these were delisted from Binance this morning. That announcement came out. So I wouldn't trade any of these. These are junk at the moment. they've been on Binance for several years, so Binance seems to be viewing them as dead projects. I don't know that for sure one way or the other. Could be a good, maybe a good place to buy. Something's dipped that much, but you don't want to catch a falling knife, like they say on the Crypt Nation calls. If you want to monitor these and look for evidence of a retrace, that could be worthwhile. And they're still available on other exchanges. So, and I don't know if Binance is quite the player it used to be. I still think it's the highest volume exchange, but others are nipping at its heels due to some of their legal problems. So, but I digress. Let's look at the social activity sort. And this my neighbor Alice has been pumping like crazy. Does anybody know why this is? I looked around a little bit to try to figure it out, but I didn't see anything. All right, sushi's in here. SLP, YGG, these are coins I've traded occasionally in the past. Chromia, maybe we'll go look at Chromia. It's had almost a 14% move today. This is one I trade from time to time. So we'll check that one out. Let me get rid of this first. Okay, on the 15-minute chart, we are at resistance. So this could be a short prospect for those of you who trade like that. Because it's bounced off this 36.5 cent area like 3 times, almost a fourth. So it's having a hard time breaking through that. So in that situation, if you want to trade it as a short, you can wait for, what I like to do is wait for a dip, a breakout above the 80, which we have now, and then a dip below. So when this dips down here, that can be a good entry. Another option on this is hasn't really done it though. Maybe it dips down below the 50 area and breaks back up, or it breaks down below the 20 and comes back up. So you can set alerts on all those scenarios. Right click on the RTI, crossing up on the 50, set one alert maybe, crossing up on the 20, you can set one alert. And then if you want to trade both directions, which is what I usually do, enter a channel, 80 on top, 20 on the bottom, once per bar close. Then this was a social activity sort. And change my notification to my day trading notification. Click create. And if this breaks below the 80, I'll get an alert. If it breaks below the 20 and then comes back up, I'll get an alert as well. So that's how I do most of my alerts on my day trading setup or layouts. Any questions on Chromia? Okay, it's a swing. See, look at the 30. Yeah, we're in resistance in the 30 on the hour. You notice I bounce between these two pretty frequently. And we've got a couple percent, about 4% to the top of the red zone. Maybe on the 4 hour we'll get now day chart. Yeah, we got some past results to about 50 cents on the day chart. So that would be a great swing trade. Making it up here, say 28%, but that could take 60 days. So keep that in mind. I'm just looking for a quick 10% most of the time, and preferably in less than a week. So if you want to take this on the 30-minute, we have a buy going at the moment. I I don't love this, so I'm not going to take this trade, but just using it as an example. Set an alert on the super trend. Go with the buy. I just leave it on only once. Social activity sort for my alert name. Then change this to a different sound if you want. Yeah, so what's going to happen is this is going to dip at some point, a sell will print, and then it'll curve back up again and a buy will print. But that may not happen for a couple days, so not the ideal setup. Any questions on Chromia? Okay, moving along pretty quickly. We'll do one more on Altcoin Alert before we head over to iCoinPro. And let's do a quick look at the 1 hour projected range. Yeah. When I see a high number here and a low number here, that can be worthwhile. We have that on Alice. The low value is 3%. The upper value is 18%. And this is for a quick day trade. I don't know. Don't love it. So let's look at another one I like is a long-term sentiment sort matched up with the Elder Impulse Daily sentiment, what people are talking about online, on Twitter usually. Elder Impulse, technical indicator, when they match up, that's usually worth further investigation. And we've got Chromia already. YGG and SLP we talked about a little bit. Rose, kind of like this one. This one's been pretty active lately. Got bullish on both. So let's check it out. Let's see, is this one? Where else can we trade this? It is on Coinbase, so cool. All right. Trending up, kind of like Chromia we just saw. We're already in resistance. You could take this as a short. It did really well when it broke it down below 20 and came back. Made that nice move there. So I think this, if you're trading it on Coinbase or in a spot trade or a low leverage, crossing up on the 50, and then I would also do one crossing up on the 20. Yeah, this would be long-term sentiment sort. And yeah, the rest would be the same. Now, when I take one above the 50, like this one here, since that's more of a trend-based approach as opposed to a sort of a contrarian one, where you take the dip and the retrace, I'll look at my cumulative delta for confirmation, and we've got some. And for this example here from Sunday night, broke above the 50 after dipping below the 20. So that would have been a good entry. And we've got nice confirmation here from the cumulative delta trending up. So that would be a go. Of course, it's easy to say that in retrospect, but I thought it was a pretty good example. Okay. Any questions on Rose? Okay, we'll look at this as a swing, and then we'll head over to iCoinPro. Yeah, this looks a lot like Chromia. You can set an alert on this to try to catch a retrace. You could look at it in more of the big picture on the day chart. It's got room to retrace, back to 18 cents, which would be over 70%. But you're looking at 86 days, so nearly 3 months before it does that, unless it catches, we have a crazy pump and like the talking heads are saying, and it catches a ride with the ones that pump. So you could get in now and then keep some funds back in case it dips down below, down into the green zone. Or you could set a stop loss, down here. I don't use stop losses in a bull market on longs very often, but to each his own. Or you could go to the hour chart and do the same thing we talked about with Chromia, just set an alert, on a buy alert on the super trend. And in that scenario, it'll dip and then print a sell and then come back and print a buy. That may not happen for a day or two. So, all right. Any questions on Rose as a day or a swing trade? All right. Let's head over to iCoinPro then. Home of the 123 dip, the RSI SPY, and the Buddy Coin Crawler. And I'm on the RSI SPY now. I'm sorting it by the 1 hour RSI. RSI is an indicator similar to the RTI. Actually, the RSI is much more used. Anyway, I'm looking for values below the 30. Those are usually coins that have taken a beating or due to come back. And okay, Zcash is in here. Trade that sometimes. There's some Bitcoin pairs. I don't trade those. But we could look at Zcash. Yeah, Zcash has dipped below the 30. Usually they're due for a comeback after this. Yeah, see, we're trending down here a little bit. We're in the green zone now, below the 20 on the RTI. So I like it. Set that alert, break above the 20, crossing up. 20 RSI SPY. And yeah, let's go ahead and set that one. And there you go. The last time it did that and broke above was here Sunday night. Didn't move that much though. Just enough. This is an older project, so you might want to look for something that's a little newer, a little more volatile. So yeah, that's the setup on the 15-minute layout on the swing trade. Okay, and the 1 hour chart got 10% on this. I like that. It could take a week or so to get there, but there's room to move to retrace back to about $28, which would be a nice profit on this. It's kind of stuck in a range. What's the 30 look like? Yeah, this one's pretty easy. I would just set an alert on the super trend, get that buy signal, and then look at your SMA or whatever indicator you're using for confirmation. And if those are incongruent or working together, then go for it. And on a longer time frame for a retrace, on the day chart, yeah, all the way up to $35 if you want to wait that long. 30-some%. I think one we looked at before would be better, but okay. Any questions on Zcash? Okay. I'll probably, let's see, do we have any more options here? Sometimes I'll go into the low 30s. Oh, I know. I should flip this. You can also sort it for coins that are broken above the 70, and then they'll have red ones. And those will sometimes keep continuing, or they're due for a pullback. Cody, Chromia we went through already. Rose we went through already. Good look at Cody. Yeah, this one's been pumping, and it looks like we've seen the setup before. It's already at resistance. So we're going to want to see, you could either do this as a short. Cody is something you can short on foreign exchanges. So if it dips below the 80 with some force, that could be a good entry, like what happened here. Yeah. So this would be a good short when it broke down pretty hard. And then, made a 4% move down. We like that. And then it broke back up again with force. When it broke below the 20, 10%. Good stuff there. So this would be a good one to sort of straddle like I usually do. That's going to be entering a channel 80, 20, once per bar close, and the rest. So, all right. Any questions on Cody as a day trade? Take a quick look at it as a swing, and then we'll probably wrap this up shortly. Okay, on the 30-minute chart, yeah, we're in the red zone. On the hour, probably the same. 4-hour, got a little room to get back, not much. Day chart. %80. And well, 90 days. Again, that's longer than I want to be in a trade, but some of you, I know I have some longer term swing traders on here. You guys might like that setup. So yeah, I would look for a new buy entry on the super trend. Again, it would look something like this. The buy is going, we're too late, but then a sell prints, it drops down, then another buy prints. Maybe it goes against you for a while, make another purchase, probably down here or down here, and then it takes off. Then you have two positions, double the money, and you make money on both. So the ladder buying concept. Well, we had an alert go off. That was one I set this morning on theta as probably a short. Take a quick look at that. Yeah, this one's been frustrating because I took this trade right about here, and probably shouldn't have because it didn't really go down with force. It just kind of broke slightly. And this went off, this went off, this went off. Now this one's going off. So that's the downside to this approach when you leave the alerts on all day. They can go off frequently and be annoying, but all right. Any questions on anything we've covered? All right, we'll take a look at Notcoin because it came up in the Slack group. I don't see it on any exchanges that most Americans can trade on. I mean, I've got a sneaky way on Bybit and BitGet. Maybe you can get this on some dexes, but shoot, shouldn't have done that. Look at the Binance chart. Yeah, so this one pumped up. It just printed a sell on the swing trade setup, and it's still dipping. So I'd be looking for this to retrace and then come back. So this one's pretty easy. I think I might even just set this alert myself. take the buy. And my information source is Slack suggestion. And this will be a swing trade for me. Go with a handbell and click create. So when this dips and then turns around, I'll be ready. And hopefully that happens in this vicinity. And then, I'll be looking to get out, bring around here, have it retraced to where it is now or where it was, on Sunday night. So that's how I would handle the not coin. Any questions on that? Okay, any questions on anything we've covered? Anything on day trading, swing trading, Altcoin Alert, or iCoinPro? All right, you guys are pretty quiet. I'll wrap it up. Okay, was that who was that?
Frank.
Frank. Go ahead, Frank.
Look at big time on Coinbase, day chart, swing trade. Also mentioned by Rand this morning, but it's been in a long consolidation, and I think it's going to move big time.
Is that how? All right.
Coinbase.
Okay.
Put it on a day chart.
Yeah, we just printed a buy a couple days ago on big time. So the chart I like, the red zone's 180%, but you might have to wait 90 days.
Okay, now, sorry to disagree with you, but when you do that, when you use that tool and you go all the way to the right, you're taking in the whole consolidation phase rather than just the down move. So go from the high point to the low point. Go back to just left of the cell, that cell.
Okay.
With your measurement tool there, your ruler.
All right.
And just drop down to the low. Go over there. Now, how long was that?
Okay, that was 35 days.
Right. So, and then it consolidates, but it would take maybe 35 days to go back up. Once it started making the move. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
For what it's worth.
Yeah, that's not a bad approach. I can't really disagree with it. And to be candid, Frank's a more experienced day trader or swing trader than I am. So that's another way to measure potential time, how long you're going to be in a trade, to look at that downward move and the consolidation and how you incorporate that. So thanks for that. Good
What
stuff.
about if you went back and looked at the other high down to the low and compare the two?
The first high?
Yeah, and so you got two trends there. Are they roughly the same time frames?
Yeah. If you use that approach.
It's like a third, right?
Yeah.
Down a third, over a third, up a third.
Yeah. Plus, if the market takes off like we think it will, I mean, we've had mostly good financial news. Where there's usually a dip after the halving and then a pump, so we could catch that, and so that would definitely negate, the time frames I was using. I was just being conservative.
Right.
So that's something to take into consideration as well.
You can also use what's called the Gann fixed box. I don't know if you want to get into that.
I do not. I don't want to talk about things I haven't used yet.
Okay. Well, essentially, it's Fibonacci's in time horizontally. if you go all the way down to Gan box.
Yeah, it's down
Gan
here.
box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
Well,
never even
go
heard of
ahead.
this until you mentioned it.
Click it. Well, click it.
Click the GAN box.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing to lose. Click it. Okay, now take it from the high just to the left of the cell. No, the other one, the last one,
Oh, this one.
the cell. Yeah, click it, drop down to the and go to no, but go back to the low.
Okay.
Okay, now click it. Now it's set. Okay, now just move the whole box. Just grab the whole box and move it there. Now go the lower left corner, put it back to where you ended it the first time. Slide it back to the left a little. Yeah, right there. See?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see that the move started going back up.
Yeah.
So it went down, went over, starts to go back up.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
It's
Yes.
intriguing, but again,
Doesn't always work. Right.
yeah,
Nothing
this is
always
another
works all the
Fibonacci
time.
tool, and we do have some new people on here, so
Yeah,
or
I
some
know.
new-ish people. I don't want their heads to explode with some of Frank's advanced stuff. So he's the one who introduced me to the RTI as well. So appreciate Frank's contributions, and he should probably be running this Zoom call. So
No, not at all.
it's all good.
Not at all.
Well, I'm more the day trader. He's more the swing. So together we'll figure it out. All right. Any other questions or comments before we wrap it up? All right, good stuff today, guys. Well, if you are watching this on the recording, I'd rather see you live, but I'll take what I can get. Please check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. Everyone else, hopefully we'll see you on Friday. Bye.
Is there carbon?